Hey everyone, this is Austin, and this is about the video about what are the waves and what are basically what's causing them. And from what I remember going through high school, it is caused by the moon's gravitational pull. And I'm joking, don't click away. I'm sorry, but before we begin, I do want to stress that I am not going to go too far because there is one person behind the waves that you find out very later on. But I want to encourage people to get the light novel because it's really good. It's a really good read. All jokes aside, and it gives you a way to support the series so we can get more seasons and probably have it to the end. And that'd be pretty cool. What do you guys think? But as I said, I'm going to only be referencing light novels 7 through 9 and my previous video about Glass. So just want to tell you that. And I'm not going to tell you every little detail because, as I said, this is supposed to encourage people wanting to read it. And I'm going to give you information that you probably are seeking, but not all of it. So, just want to say spoilers. And I know some of you may get upset with me not including certain things, but you got to remember, this is trying to be a medium ground for everyone. But anyway, so the waves. They are a mysterious thing that happens that a lot of people don't really understand, and Glass knows it's not a, actual natural thing. And what's going on from what you will see from, the light novel number 8 to 9 is it's two worlds colliding, causing these rifts. And I want to mention one of the characters I really did not like, but he was a good villain, was Kyo. He was the only person from these light novels so far up to 9 that were able to create artificial waves. Just want to mention that. I know some of you are probably like, oh, you didn't mention Kyo, blah, blah, blah. I did. There you go. But I'm going to explain the heroes' roles to you guys of what they're supposed to do. And their role is basically to defeat these waves to prolong the next one. And the difficulty actually increases, as we saw with Volume 7 of the light novel. And a little rundown quickly of light novel 7, so some of you guys have some background. This is the Spirit Turtles kind of fight, and we saw that Kyo, this guy that, I'm going to be honest, he's disgusting. He's probably one of the most disgusting villains I've seen in a while, and some of you will understand what I'm talking about. And Nofumi, even in light novel 9, said that he is as bad as Malty, to say the least, if you want to understand how bad this guy is. But as I said, these rifts are happening and they're colliding, and I'm going to go back to Vittoria's words of you have to do it for the people, otherwise you're gonna have to make a bunch of sacrifices. And we didn't know what that meant. We're like, okay, what is this crazy bird talking about? And it's because this is the base of what's going on, and this is going to light novel 8 to 9. Where, Nofumi is going to the other world to hunt down Kyo for what he did. And Kyo has massacred so many people in Nofumi's world. And I'm going to give you a key. I'm going to refer to the other world as Kizuna's world and Nofumi's as Nofumi's world. So you guys don't get lost as I'm explaining this. But basically, Kizuna and Nofumi's world are going at each other. And whichever people kill the heroes, if the heroes die, that world gets destroyed, which the other world gets to live longer. It's kind of like a Hunger Games in a really messed up way, and we're talking millions and millions of people being killed, so another world can be, safe. And that's kind of why Glass went over there to, fight the heroes. She intended to save her world, and see, when we learn that about Glass, I know I didn't really mention that in her video, it kind of makes us realize, I would have done the same in her place, kind of thing. And it's a really messed up thing, to say the least. And we have the heroes that cannot go into the other world. They cannot fight on the front lines. So, Nofumi was only granted special permission by, I'm going to butcher her name, Ost, by going to give revenge, to have revenge on Kyo, basically. But we have the vassal weapon users that are supposed to be able to go across these other worlds to fight the other heroes, and usually They are extremely, extremely strong. As Glass was able to kind of get lucky with people not wanting to take it, but she ended up becoming really strong in the arc. He's a king, by the way. A little spoiler alert. But he was strong enough to wield it, and the only time that I really remember from light novel 1 through 9, as I said, I'm not trying to go too ahead for some of you, so you guys can kind of keep up. I don't want to go big endgame spoilers on you, basically, but the only vassal weapon that chose its host was the one that, the katana hero got. And who is the katana hero, Austin? Well, none other than our beautiful goddess, Raftalia. And it's really cool to see her vassal weapon. And the vassal weapon users, as I said, their role is basically to go to the other side and defeat the other heroes so their world can be fine, kind of thing. And it's kind of a very cut dry thing right there. I had to sum it up quite clearly to some of you because some of you don't get it sometimes, and I felt I needed to do that. But we have, with a little, I'm going to throw you some fun facts with, Raftalia. This is coming from Light Novel 9, by the way. Her vassal weapon's so cool that she actually can have 2 swords. And Nafumi, of course, feels bad because he can't have any weapons. But nonetheless, getting back to the topic, we see that this is basically a giant game to one person. And I'm not going to lie, at first I'm like, so Kyo's behind it all? Because in the light novel 9, he actually creates the artificial wave and sends out Kizna, Glass, L'Arc, Therese, and, a lot of others that were part of that world, leaving, Nafumi, Ratalia, Philo, and Risha with, fighting him. And I'm not going to lie, he was no joke. He was a strong opponent. And we got to see the all-sacrifice... I'm going to butcher the last part. I'm just going to call it the all-sacrifice support skill, to put it nicely. I think I can remember it. You'd hope I would remember, but yeah. Nonetheless, that was how strong he was, and Nafumi actually activates his Shield of Wrath for it in that novel. Just a little tidbit there, but going to the whole waves and the difference between the two worlds. So Nafumi's world comparing to Kizna's world, Nafumi's world seems to know not a lot about the waves, but seems seasoned enough to kind of know how to defeat it. And it was kind of weird because when we go to Kizna's world, they know all about it. It's like they have legends and legends upon it, and it just, there's a bigger scheme happening kind of thing. But continue on, Kizna's world is always at war versus, Nafumi's world, and I have to say it's because of the Queen. The Queen's a really good negotiator, that everyone's working together in Nafumi's world. And truth be told, yes, Kizna's world may have stronger people, but sometimes it's that support and strength in numbers that's going to help, fight a wave. And the sad part is, another contrast that kind of kicks what I just said in the teeth, is that in Kizna's world, the other 3 heroes besides her, and Kizna, as referencing from Glass's video that I previously did, is the hunting hero, and Nafumi and her, they get along quite well, but she's a funny character. Check out the Glass video if you haven't yet. But Kizna's world, we have adventurers fighting it while the other 3 heroes are just, we're waiting for an update. They're basically, the other 3 heroes are useless. I mean, at least, the other 3 heroes try in the movie's world, I guess. That's all I can say is they try. And the main reason why these adventurers do it is because they can get drop items and make them into stuff that they can sell, versus Nafumi's world, people will buy the drop items, drop materials, and use that. And another thing I want to talk about is the races in each world. They have a demi-human race that is quite unique, and I usually call them long ears because that's how they call them elves in that world, but they are grass people, and they're quite cool. And another thing I do want to stress is that in Kizna's world, it is like a Japanese Western mix versus Nafumi's world being a Western, like medieval kind of thing that's going on, and it's quite interesting to see it being described throughout, light novel 8 through 9. And we have spirit people, which I have to stress, do not get them mixed up as, souls. They're not souls, kind of thing. They're kind of I can't really think about how to describe them, but I'm pretty sure someone will do a better job at it in the comments. But continue on, we have humans, obviously. They're in crystal people. And the crystal people, if you're wondering, what's a crystal person? Well, it's a person, for example, Therese, that is always with the Ark. She has a crystal on her forehead, if I'm not mistaken. And it's kind of their core, their heart in a sense. I wouldn't say heart, but kind of what controls their mana or soul power. That's what they call it in, Kizuna's world versus Nafumi's mana kind of thing. But that's another contrast. But as I said, we have two worlds that are pinned against each other because one person wants to see havoc, and to say the least, I'm going to reference the Queen's video. There's a reason why Malty wasn't killed as fast, because it would have been all over sooner, and I want to stress that enough to you guys. But anyways, guys, that's kind of a wrap up of the waves, and I wanted to simplify it without spoiling too much, because at the end of the day, I really want you guys to watch, not watch, I guess reading and watching the same thing almost, to read the light novels. They are a really good pick, and truth be told, they're better off than the mangas, because the mangas, you're paying what, $10 in US or $13 for not barely under 200 pages versus the light novel. You got like 300 and something pages or 400 pages sometimes, but it's a good read, as I said. I'm not usually a person that likes to read for fun, but I find myself reading this for fun somehow. But anyways, guys, yeah, as I said, pick those books up if you actually really like the series. It does help support the series overall, and it could get us another season. Just saying. It could help encourage another season. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. And what do you find most fascinating about the waves of what I said? You think that someone could artificially create waves is pretty weird and cool at the same time? I'm curious. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, as I said before, and I'll see you until the next time. This is Austin, sign out. Peace.